Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, I am a pirate. You have to go with the pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything. It's a pirate's life for me. Be proud of who you are and what you are. You pirate. It is a first down. Pirates. Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
Write it!
I don't think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
You live with Omaha? I can promise you that. And it's purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
Yeah.
My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down to my soul, and I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
Welcome into the Pirate Football Playback here as we have a big victory over Charlotte, 48-22. And ladies and gentlemen, all the way from LaGrange is Kyle from LaGrange Barber. How are you, sir, on this Sunday night?
You said all the way from LaGrange. That made me think of this Chinese restaurant I used to go to in Kinston. It's been closed for a while. Jessica just laughed since I started saying that. That dude moved to Wichita. Great guy. His name was Calvin Cho. But every time me and Jessica would walk in, oh, my good friends, all the way from El Rey. But anyway.
Wow.
All the way from El Rey.
It started off with a bang.
LaGrange. You referred to LaGrange as L.A. But anyway. So, yeah, good win over Charlotte yesterday. We were bowl eligible. Getting our first vote in the top 25 since 2014. Long time coming. Looking everybody, that's already being talked about. Everybody's like, I wonder which coach voted for us because it's the coaches poll. And I looked at the list of who votes for the coaches poll, and I'm going to go ahead and guess the first guy on the list, Charlotte's head coach. He's voting in the coaches poll, and he was very complimentary of us after the game and very complimentary of Blake for taking a knee. Talking about how classy that was, and talking about we were one of the most complete football teams, if not the most complete football team they've played all year. So hats off to him for being classy in defeat, and he votes in the coaches poll this year. So my prediction is that our guess is he was the one vote we're getting in the coaches poll. Coach, how do you say his last name?
Tim Albin?
Yeah, Albin. Thank you. So that's my prediction, or prediction's not the right word. That's my guess on who's giving us our one vote in the coaches poll.
Hypothesis,
yes, is Coach Albin. But anyway, yeah, good win for the Pirates. Jumped up early, got sloppy at times, but the game was in hand. Charlotte played hard. They just do not have the athletes to match ours. We took care of business. Could have been a lot worse. We could have blew them out. We did blow them out, but could have been a lot worse. And, at times it felt like they were making it close. They never cut it to anything but 16. So good win for the Pirates. And now we move on to bigger and better things. Memphis is coming to town. Will they have their starting quarterback? He went out again against Tulane. Only time will tell. This is a big game. This is suddenly weird that we're the favorites of this game slight favorites because the assumption is their quarterback may not play. And we're the team right now in contention for the conference championship, not Memphis. Who would have thought that? This is a huge game. This is in terms of what this game means for East Carolina going forward, contending for a conference championship, contending for potentially breaking in the top 25 as the year goes on. This is the biggest game to be played in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium in many, many, many years. So need to at least have the kind of crowd we had against Charlotte. Need to be pushing 40,000. I'd like to get over 40,000. But this time, I beg of you, please, for the love of God, do not go out and tailgate at halftime. Please stay for all four quarters because it's going to come down to the wire. And I'll shut up now and let somebody else talk.
What's up, Matt? What did you think from the great Commonwealth of Connecticut?
What's up, guys? I'm in a great mood tonight because I just booked my flights to come to the Memphis game next week, and I don't get to go to games very often, living so far away. So I'm really excited about it. amazing opportunity coming up for East Carolina. Just like Kyle said, this is a huge game, and I feel really good about our chances to win it. We're going to get into that, but looking at yesterday's game, I think all in all, a really good performance. Love the way for 2 games in a row, the focus and the game plan, getting out of the gate fast, scoring right away, putting yourself in a good position to play with a lead. So much positive to look at. My only gripes with yesterday were a few of those deep balls and the fans leaving at halftime, but we'll get into all that.
No question. And Stevie Fly, as we bring in, brother, you have the coaching experience, obviously, for many, many years. What were your thoughts?
Well, I like the way we jumped out on them early in the game, building that big lead up. And I'm like Matt, the long balls concern me, but you're going to get that when, teams are going to take shots when they get behind like that. They don't have anything to lose. Charlotte, not a talented team. Like Kyle said, they played hard, but me and Kyle were talking earlier about, how kneeling right there at the end, we could have scored, how that was a class move. And I'll tell you this from experience. I did that one time in a game, and the coach for the opposing team was not happy with me. For some reason, he yelled across the field at me, "Oh, that's cute," and had a few words to me, in the shake when we shook hands. And I said, "Well, next time I'll be even cuter. I'll score on you." So, but you can take it one of either ways. But yeah, really impressed yesterday. It's a little sloppy after we got the lead, but we get the big win and bowl eligible. Big game this week against Memphis. We can't wait to see what Saturday brings.
No doubt. And Johnny Robertson saving the best for last. JR, what's up, brother?
Hey, well, okay, so I called for blood. I wanted, I predicted 59-9, didn't get that. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm more happy than I thought I would be, just because the score's been settled, and it was settled, decisively. Other than the big plays that we gave up, the defense continued to do the things that win football games, like shut down the red zone and shut down fourth down, conversions. And they tried to go for it on fourth down 5 times. We stopped them 4 times.
Yeah,
and in the red zone, they were only in there twice. They scored once, which is a great. And 50% is a great success rate. So I was happy. I hate giving up 22 points to them though. But other than that, I'll take it.
No doubt. And guys, I was thinking about that late this morning while we were starting to get ready for the show. And it used to be that there were some years, Kyle can tell you, and Matt especially too, that this was kind of like one of those shows that, we were going through tough seasons where it was like, just go ahead and pull the Band-Aid off, just rip it off and get the show over with. And we were not looking forward to it. But I have to say, this season's been great. You have a coach that's won out of the last 15 games, he's won 11 games. And guess what? I was thinking about, as I've told you before, guys, about how miserable I was at that Charlotte game last year. So you take from the Charlotte game last year to the Charlotte game this year. I want to get you guys' thoughts, but I was just thinking, if you had told me last year, the Dave that was there in that press box about to cuss everybody out of how miserable it was, that we would be a year later, 11-4 with a coach who was a defensive coordinator. We would beat NC State in a bowl game, in the Military Bowl. We would have a coach that's already eligible for to go to a bowl on November the 8th. I would have said, man, you have got a glass that's way half full and maybe on the verge of delusional. What do you guys think about that? The difference in a year from the last Charlotte game to now?
Well, I remember when Blake got the job, and I could read people pretty good in press conferences, and everybody will remember, I said, hide and watch. I had a feeling. I didn't know how good he would do, but I had a feeling we were going to get to a bowl when he took over. And he exceeded my expectations. The win over NC State in the bowl game. And then so far this year, I predicted this to go 7-5, and we still may very well go 7-5. We may go 6-6, but as we're sitting here in early November, it certainly doesn't feel like we're going to go 6-6 or 7-5. Feels like we have a really good chance to win at least 8, a realistic chance of winning 9 or 10 in the regular season and conference championship game if we were to make it there. So I think the job Blake has done to date is phenomenal. He's got a lot of work to do the rest of the year. These next 3 games are the most important games he's coached and the most important games we played as a program
since 2014.
Since 2014, yeah, because we're competing for a conference championship, and since 2014 since we've been in the running for one. So this is this is big time football, and I hope this moment doesn't get too big for these guys. I don't know what the talk is internally. I know externally you haven't heard a lot of talk from Blake about conference championships, which I find kind of interesting. Skip Holtz always kind of put it out there. Same with Ruffin. But just because you're not talking about it externally doesn't mean you're not talking about it internally. And, there's some things we're going to have some help to get to a conference championship game. Some things we can't control with somebody's going to have to beat Tulane. But biggest things to handle our business, because whether we make it to the conference championship game or not is secondary. If we go 9-3, 9-3, yeah, and then have a chance to win, don't guys. I mean, it's a lot of football left to be played, and first things first, and Memphis is coming up, and it's a huge game. But we're still sitting here with a possibility, counting conference championship and bowl games, to have our first 11-win season since '91. I mean, it's possible. It's not probable, but it is possible.
Well, I'm sure they've got goals they made during the year, and this is the first. They're. I would hope they resting on their laurels right now of just being bowl eligible. You got a chance to do something that hadn't been done in a long time at ECU. Yeah, I mean that's how that was how I always tried to motivate the guys on my team. I said, all right, here's your first goal. You get there, move on to the second goal.
Yeah,
so.
I'm sure they do. Stevie. But it's just, this has a chance to be a special season, and I'll shut up with somebody else talk. But I'll point this out. If you now, I don't have it right off the top of my head now, but if you look at the amount, I think it's in this century, the last 25 years, I think we've had. I don't want to say it's between 4 and 6. 8-win regular seasons, not 6. Counting after bowl games. 6, okay. 6,
Our friend
8.
Robert Rosenbaum had that sent us that post he had from another group, and it said if we win 2 wins in the final 3 games, it would be the 6th team to win 8 games in the regular season this century. So that's
that was the stat I brought up. But I didn't see that text from Bubba. That was the stat that I had mentioned several weeks back earlier in the season. So an 8-win regular season is a special season at ECU. We've had plenty of 8-win seasons with bowl wins, but an 8-win regular season, special season at ECU, that is very obtainable. But so is a 9-win regular season, that's still obtainable. Yeah. So there's a lot still to play for, and Memphis is up next. And to answer your question, Dave, and we'll break down the Charlotte game here in a minute. But to answer the question, Dave, I've rambled here. But your question was, how do I feel about, or did I believe? I don't remember how you worded it about Blake. From Charlotte last year to now against Charlotte, and the job Blake's done. I mean, I think he's done, considering he was the defensive coordinator, interim head coach, I think he's done an incredible job. We'll see long term what happens.
Yeah.
And the rest of this year to play out. But, he's trending downward right now, but he could be our Dabo. Dabo was the same situation. Took over as interim head coach, and look what he's done at Clemson.
No doubt. And by the way, Kyle, we talked about it last week, and I'll bring in Matt Semenza. The fact that I've had fans, obviously fellow alums at work who are, just find it hard to believe, but hey, we have an outside chance to get in the playoff. We have to have a lot of things to happen between now and then. We've just got to take care of our business, but there at least is a chance. I didn't say it was a strong chance, but there is a chance for that to happen.
Absolutely. And, there is a chance, and to be late in the season and have that chance is a win in itself. I think from East Carolina's perspective, what you really have to do, and this is going to sound like coach speak, and Stevie, I'm sure you're as a coach, you're going to agree with me on this, but
You're not going to say take it one game at a time, are you?
not only am I going to say that, Kyle, but your whole mindset has to be, you got to take it one day at a time in practice, in your preparation. At this point, don't even think about Saturday yet. It's got to be one day at a time. And then, when you get close to game day, you got to take care of business, and you got to focus like that, like literally one day at a time. Don't look ahead too much, because, if you start doing that, you really take a look at the remaining schedule, you're going to see Memphis, right? Then you got to go to, at Texas San Antonio, which is never an easy thing to do. FAU had a nice win yesterday. So you can't look ahead. You just got to take care of business one day at a time. And I'll tell you, like, the thing I really like about Blake, I think he's a breath of fresh air for the players. These guys played for Mike Houston, for several years. And Mike Houston had more of that sort of that military feel, that, big boss man type personality. And I think he ran a very, like, sort of a tight, strict ship, versus Blake. I think he's more of a player's coach. Now, he'll coach them hard, but I think he relates more to the average player in 2025. So I think it's a breath of fresh air. And you can just tell when they come into a game, they look fresh. They look more prepared than they were in the past. I mean, you look at where we were last year against Charlotte, it's night and day. So I really like what I'm seeing out of Blake. And he's got a great opportunity in front of him. It's going to be really fun to watch. I just hope, guys, this is my big thing. I really hope we get an amazing crowd on Saturday and make that place incredibly difficult for Memphis. Make it loud, and people need to stay.
Yeah, stay is the key part. Hold on, I want to say something real quick, and then JR, Stevie, I'll shut up and let y'all talk. But one thing that Matt said about people needing to stay, if that same 40,000 shows up for Memphis, that's fine. Just stay the whole game and be loud. But second, Matt, you said that Mike Houston was like the big boss man. Would that make Blake like Akeem?
He's from Cobb County, Georgia.
I knew you would like that little wrestling reference there.
Yes.
Kyle.
Yeah. African Dream.
I guess it would.
Like Akeem, the African Dream. All
right. Yeah. What did you guys? Stevie and Johnny? What did you guys think about over the last year for this program to have a guy that's won 11 out of 15?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say winning conference games has been a difficult task in the last 10 seasons, going back to 2015. I mean, we've only had a winning conference record one time. That was 2021. And the 10 years prior to Blake being the head coach, our record is 22-53 in conference games. That's 29%. Under Blake, we're 8-2, obviously 80%. So, I mean, whatever he's doing, I hope he keeps doing it. We have 3 conference games left, and they're all winnable. None of them will be easy. And I hate to be negative, though. I'm not really hopeful that we're going to have any way to reach the conference championship game. It just, the Memphis losing to Tulane, that was a dagger that I don't think. Now we have to have FAU go into New Orleans and beat Tulane. And I mean, FAU's capable, their offense, they can get hot, but that's just, it's like a 16-point spread. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen. And if that doesn't happen, I just don't see a course where we could get there. But hey, we can, like Kyle said, and Matt, we can still win 7 conference games.
Tulane still got to go to Philadelphia and play at Temple.
What's that?
Yes.
Tulane still has to go to Philly and play at Temple.
Yeah,
there's 12,000 people.
Look what we did.
And it's probably going to be very, 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 very cold. Very, very, very cold.
Yeah.
And
fellas, Florida has to lose as well. They have to lose a game. And they're playing Navy this weekend. They're favored by 10. After that, it gets easier for USF, considerably easier.
Yeah.
Because North Texas, I don't think is going to lose. So it could happen. It's just.
Well, look,
If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'll still take 9-3.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm not even,
Yeah.
biting my nails or anything when these other teams are playing. Whatever happens, happens.
Hey,
So like, let me ask y'all this, and maybe y'all don't know the answer. If there's while we wouldn't play in the conference championship game, if we finish for a tie for first, do we get a share of the regular season conference championship? Do we get credit as co-regular season champions?
I would think yes.
I think yes, and then the overall crown would go to the winner. But yeah, that would seem like that would be
so still a trophy,
right. And here's the thing. Again, going back to what I was saying, where we were last year and where we are now, the program is headed in the right direction. And here's the thing, guys. I was thinking about this. December 4th. Here's another thing that is amazing. Less than a month away is the anniversary of Ruff being fired by Jeff Comfort 10 years ago. Think about that, where we talk about our fans and everything, but Blake has it in the right direction. Our good friend Eric Graham made a great point. He said we stay healthy and we get all 3 wins. We'll get some more comments up here. But former player for the Pirates, and I agree with that, is that that's the one thing we have to be concerned about the most is staying healthy. And Matt, you being a former player, let me get to the other guys. Did you guys want to comment about the last year? I'm sorry.
All I was going to say is Matt was talking about a breath of fresh air. I know you guys remember on the practice field that day when they made the official announcement that Blake was coaching, to see the reaction from that team. I mean, you knew then that there was something there. These guys really wanted to play hard for him, and it's shown. I mean, it's shown on the field. They have really responded well to him. He's done a great job, I think.
He's made it where before, guys, and I've talked to other members of the media that go there every single day, but it was like with Houston, even with the media, if you made a mistake, like you were on edge, you were on like thin ice, on like a tightrope. And now Blake makes everybody feel comfortable in the room. It's completely different. And that makes you want, the media is even happier now. So covering the team, because before, you had to be careful the questions you ask. And it was a different time. And that's the one thing I will say about Montgomery. Montgomery let you interview anybody you wanted. And Blake's not doing that. However, I feel like we're headed back in the direction where there's more access to the program, and we're winning. So I feel a lot better. But what I was going to get at, guys, in the last 10 years of this program, that's why we need to be pulling hard for this team, because it's not like we're winning 10, 11 games every single year. We haven't done that consistently anyway. And so, like Kyle talked about, the fact that what we had after Ruff, we were selling hope. Then we were selling just to go to a bowl game. Now we've won bowl games, and now we're talking about conference championships and a very, very outside chance of the playoff. But if you look at the last 10 years, things are heading the right direction. I think the one thing I would say is we've got to get, don't want to go off on this tangent, but just to say we've got to get those casual fans back. Who would come and, it was 43, 46. It was like there's an extra, I don't know, 7,000, 8,000 at least that are not coming to the games. They used to come to the games, and you can tell it. And then when the diehards leave and don't come back from tailgating, it's very noticeable, especially on your side, Kyle, on the north side.
It was bad on the south side too, on the upper deck side looking across. It was bad there too.
And let me just tell you guys, from a player's perspective, when you play, a pretty good first half. I mean, offensively, we put up 35 points in the first half.
Yeah.
And you're feeling good, right? You have an in-state opponent, all right, albeit it's Charlotte, all right. They're not some outstanding program, but still, it's an in-state opponent, a team that's beat you the last few years and really embarrassed the program. And you put forth a good performance in the first half, and you come out as a player after halftime, and you look up at the stands, and everybody's gone. Like, as a player, I would be pissed off. Honestly,
Yeah.
I really would be. I'd be like, where's the support for the team?
Well, they got to go tailgate, Matt. They got to go. They got to go out there and drink some more liquor and barbecue some more chicken and throw the hacky sack into the cornhole or whatever the hell they do.
Yeah, it's just like, and I don't get, honestly, I don't get that mentality. And maybe it's look, anybody, all of us, we're here because we truly love ECU. Anybody listening to the show, who's listening right now loves ECU. So we're not talking about, the diehards. We're talking about sort of those
Oh no,
fringe
there's some
casual fans.
Matt. There's
And
diehards. There's diehards that seem to value tailgating more than the game. They'll go to the first half. Oh, we got the game in hand. So forget showing the team support. We're going to go out and enjoy the rest of the day. Now I will say this, and I'm not defending it, but I will say this: we had 2 home games from BYU till now, and they were both on Thursday nights. We hadn't had a Saturday home game since September. It was beautiful weather yesterday, unusually warm for September. So I do think the lack of home games, the lack of Saturday home games, probably contributed to us having a big lead and folks going out and tailgating because they didn't get a chance to do that very much this year. Not making excuses, but I do think that contributed to it. We can't have that against Memphis. First
No.
of all, if we're up 28-7 or 35-14 against Memphis at halftime, holy crap, that'd be awesome. So I don't think that'll be an issue. I think it's going to be a close 4-quarter game, potentially overtime. So we need everybody to stay there, and I think the score will keep them there. At least the fans, the students. I just think this generation of students, they just suck. So
They haven't and to be fair to them, they haven't had the winning that we had.
well, I mean, yes and no, Dave. I mean, if you look at it, if you're a senior, you every season but one has been good. 21, 22, 24, 25. If you're a freshman, all you know is winning. If you're a sophomore, all you know is winning. So I disagree with you. There's only been one bad season in the last little bit, 23. So I think we missed a generation of Pirate fans under the Scotty years and early Mike Houston years, 18-19, but or excuse me, 19-20. But I don't think there's any excuse for these students. They suck. I just think this generation sucks. I mean, they just suck. Stop.
Great way to get the students there.
What do they do?
Well, you know what? They prove me wrong. Stop sucking.
Yeah, and
Keep
you
your
know what?
ass there for 4 quarters. You little, what are they? Gen Z? You little Gen Z Nimrod. Stay for 4 quarters.
You know what? Look, again, I'm just gonna. I don't want to belabor this point, but like for the people who leave at halftime and don't come back in, look, man, just
How do you go?
stay in the game. Like you have after the game, you can go back to the tailgate. Like, you could drink all night. You could drink your face off in the parking lot if you want.
Exactly.
After the game, but you got to show support for the team. And again, I'm just coming at this from a player's perspective, like how annoyed I would be if you came out after good performances and your whole fan base is not your whole fan, but half your fan base is gone. So it's something that really, I'm telling you, if I was our fearless leader, I would sort of make a point this week. Maybe what do they call it? The letter to the what does he call it?
Letter from the helm. Yeah,
letter from the helm.
you need you here for all 4 quarters. Yes,
exactly. Call people out. Don't be
You know
afraid.
what I would do, Matt, at least for the students,
party like we did for basketball.
At least for the students, I don't know if you want to do this for the whole stadium, but do a giveaway. You give a shirt, a hat, something cool. Give away. Hey, and you're going to give it away at the end of the 4th quarter as you're exiting. If you only want to do it for the student sections, that's fine. But do something like that. Do something to encourage. Look, the rest of the fans, if you're grown folk, I don't think you need to be encouraged to stay to the 4th in a close game. I think you're going to. And another thing, besides it being a close game, it's going to be cold Saturday. So I don't think people are going to go out to the parking lot to tailgate. And the people, look, the Memphis games, this is going to be a different animal. This ain't going to be no games over with at halftime.
No.
So that's another thing that we haven't all year. We've pretty much, it's either been a Thursday night game or we've had games in hand at half. And so I think for this Memphis game, if people leave at halftime, you're always going to have a handful. But if people leave at halftime in large numbers, I'd be shocked.
Here's something that Justin, I want to get y'all's opinion on this. He said he's got a solution. Just sell liquor in the stadium. We're one of the only schools we go to that don't sell liquor in the stadium. How do y'all feel about that? I don't care personally either way.
Well, we sell beer.
I know, but he's talking about
You
Hard
can get
liquor.
a $17 Sup Crush at the club level.
Oh, you can.
yeah.
Well, I'm talking for the regular folks. I get it because you're gonna get drunker a lot faster. But here's the thing: people are doing that before they come in anyway. So all you're doing is taking money out of your own pocket. Sell liquor, sell mixed drinks.
I mean, why do you buy a ticket to the game if you're going to sit? I mean, I nothing wrong with tailgating. Why are you going to buy a ticket to the game if you sit out there in the parking lot and just cook all day? I mean, cook and drink all day. You do that at home. Go to save some money. Go listen to it on the radio and do it at home if you're going to do that crap.
Do it in the backyard, right, Stevie? Backyard.
Exactly. I mean, there's people that would love. I work every weekend. I'd love to be able to go to a game, but you got a chance to go to the game and watch the game, and you're sitting out there in the parking lot. Come on, Dad. Support the team.
Yeah, Howard. That's my question.
They always talked about, like, one of the things I always heard was, Greenville on game day is kind of like an SEC environment. And look, when it's good,
really good.
When we have a great fan base performance, everybody shows up and stays, it's amazing. But I'll say this, it's not like that anymore, or it hasn't been for a while. And I got to just say it, I'll be honest, man. I've been to a bunch of SEC games. They don't leave at halftime. So, like, if we're going to tout this reputation about, hey, we're SEC light, it's no, that's just not true. That's a myth. That might be a hard reality for some people to listen
it's
to.
true. It's true.
You're right. You're exactly right.
They don't need to leave.
You looked at it in the first half, it looked like an SEC type environment. Although I did think we could be louder, but it's just like I said. I really I know some people were upset that we didn't get closer to 45. It was right at 40,000. That's fine. And then this economy, this environment, we were still the most attended game in the so-called group of 5 or group of 6. So the crowd didn't bother me. It was the fact that they didn't stay. If we're doing 40,000 every game, that's just fine. But they need to friggin' stay.
Well, here and by the way, guys, took my kids yesterday, and what in the hell is up with the cost of drinks now? I had to pay like $6.25 for a damn 20-ounce drink per person. I'm sorry, but that is absolutely insane. It's ridiculous. And $6.25 for, I mean,
is it $6.20? Is it that much?
It was $10.90. Let's see, $10.95 or $11.95 for 2 20-ounce drinks.
Jesus Christ! I was getting Gatorade, so I thought it was like $4.50. I didn't realize it was.
Well, yeah, for a soda, for a Pepsi product soda.
Well, that's Gatorade's Pepsi product. So
yeah, I know,
I didn't realize it was $6. That's way too high. $4.50 is which is what I thought it was. It's plenty high. I don't know. That's ridiculous.
It used to be that until this is the first game I wanted to. My kids, my new seats, and
this is the first drink you've bought all year at the game.
Yes, because I'm always up there with your press box buddies.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
So I get that. I'm just saying that my point is, I wasn't saying that I'm complaining as far as me personally. I'm just saying, as a fan, you have kids, you have a family.
Yes, it's too expensive. It is.
Look at this. Look at this. From
Eric Graham.
$150 from concession Saturday.
Well, it's good for the university, but it's not good for people wanting to come back. Those folks that bought those $12 tickets, for example. I mean, it's ridiculous. I know yesterday all I bought was a Gatorade and a water, but there's been plenty of games this year because we played so many night games where I just ate dinner at the game. I'd grab a couple hot dogs or a brat and a hot dog or whatever, and and I know it would cost a good amount. By the way, also we're talking concessions. We have the worst freaking pretzels. Our soft pretzels are complete garbage. I'm telling you what, there's a place up towards Stevie's Way in Littleton. It's a popcorn truck. I can't think of the name of the company. They do hot pretzels out of that popcorn truck. Some of the best hot pretzels. They're cinnamon sugar pretzels. We need to get them to do our pretzels at the game because our cinnamon sugar pretzels, I didn't get one this week. I've gotten a couple this year, and I'm not getting another. It's freaking hot garbage. But anyway, that's just a little sidebar there for you. But yeah, concession prices, It was a couple years ago. Gilbert talked about fan-friendly prices. I don't know what happened to that, but they ain't fan-friendly anymore. And I know it's a good thing this is a thing for having to bitch about right now because we ain't having to bitch about football.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say, Matt,
Yeah.
but concession prices are a little ridiculous.
think about
And,
something.
oh, go ahead, Dave.
I was
You know
just
how much
going
a barbecue sandwich is?
How much?
I'm not
$11.
Matt.
Yeah.
I was thinking, Matt. I was just going to throw this to you, and the reason I jumped in is I was just thinking about you. Here's a guy that's in the state of Connecticut, okay? And I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to throw it to you. This is a guy who's in the state of Connecticut. If he were closer, anywhere closer, he'd be at every single game. He would stay all the time. He's a former player, a letterman, and not to mention the fact about the cost of, the plane tickets, all that. So why in the hell are we charging so much for
$11 for a barbecue sandwich.
$8.99 for this little? It's basically a slice of pizza now instead of a personal pan from Pizza Hut. $8.99 a piece.
You can get a whole damn pizza. You can get a whole damn large free topping for Pizza Hut for $11.99 at the store.
Exactly.
It's price gouging, guys, and it reminds you of like when there's a hurricane and there's a water shortage, and these convenience stores start charging $10 for a gallon of water. I mean, it's gouging at
Hey,
some
wait a
point.
minute, Kenny, put up Kenny's comment. There you go. He just put the puzzle together. That's part of it. That's part of it. I don't think that's all of it, but that is part of it.
Kenny, you're right. You're absolutely. And hey, Kenny, I'll bet you money right now, and I'm going to add he's one of our favorites. Kenny is. Kenny, I bet you money right now that you can go out to the parking lot and you've already paid for your stuff, right? That was, convenience store prices are hell less than this stuff, right? You can go there.
Well, eat at halftime and come back in.
What's that?
So eat at halftime and come back in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you can only come back in through the Pirate Club entrance, and I think you have to be. I don't think crew level can come in. I think you have to be at least. What's the second level up? I think you have to at least be the second level up to come back through the Pirate Club entry. If I may be wrong with that, you may be able to through crew level. I'm not sure. But JR, do you know the answer to that?
No, I was just going to say there was a football game played yesterday.
We're definitely going to get to that.
We're going to get to it. I'm sorry, Johnny. That's my fault.
No, I had two people text me and say, "Hey, where's the football talk?" I said, "I'll see what I can do." Yeah, that's why I jumped in like that. But I will make a short concessions thing. I don't really participate in that conversation because I never buy anything because I don't know who can't go 3 hours without eating something. I eat before the games, and I can see what you have kids.
Eric Graham said they won't. Eric Graham said they won't let you back in. They will, Eric. You got to go through a certain Pirate Club entrance. Yeah, I forgot what level you have to be at, but yeah, you can get back in. JR, what level are you? Well, if you don't want, I don't know if you want to. You go in and come back
just
out.
Just the Pirate Club. That's all. That's all you got to be.
So even crew level, you can. Okay.
$100 a year.
Tell Eric
you got to
where
pass.
he needs to come in and out at.
Yeah.
Tell Eric
you
where
have to show your card.
Oh, so you don't have to go. I thought you had to go through a certain entrance.
You do. You have to go through the entrance, but they just scan your phone with your
What entrance is it?
Oh gosh, Kyle, I don't know the number. It's where all the TVs and couches are.
Oh, the Pirate Club level, yeah.
It's right off of Blackbeard's Alley. It's
so that's where you have to come in and out at. Yeah, there's so many gates.
Yeah.
Andy Gross says you can re-enter any gate. So
you ready to enter gate with your Pirate Club? Okay, so you just have to be a Pirate Club member. Okay,
well, to go out, Andy, can you go out any gate? I'm not sure about that. Maybe you can.
Any entrance. That's what Justin says.
Okay.
Okay, just show your Pirate Club membership. So there you go. But anyway.
A guest of his couldn't come back in, is what he's saying, Eric Graham. I don't know. Maybe
wow. Okay. Well, that probably needs to be addressed. If somebody wants to come back in and they have their freaking ticket, let them back in, whether they're a Pirate Club member or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just idiotic to me.
Yeah,
but anyway, I mean,
let's go ahead.
What did you think? They just shot up with heroin in the parking lot? I mean, what reason would you for not letting them back in?
Hell, that might make them a better fan. Hey, Matt, we're going to talk about
heroin to make you go to sleep.
Well, I'm silly. Hey, Matt, I wanted to ask you a question on as far as the game. They actually had there was a guy on Pirate Radio last night on the fifth quarter, so I want to give them credit. But he wants to get rid of the purple gold cheer which I think is
Good
ridiculous.
Lord. I
No,
heard
we
that.
just need to quit having people do it. Although I do think
We're not.
You Savage did it better last night than most.
No, I'm talking about the. I think overall that's been awesome. That's a great thing they're doing.
I don't.
I'm talking about what it used to be. Is we've been hitting this point over and over again. When you have people in the stadium on both sides, and one on the north side is purple, on my side on the south side is gold, and you have a whole bunch of people, it sounds really cool. When you have a handful of thousands of people that are left, it's just not the same. I'm sorry. It's like when you go to a baseball game.
Oh,
And
you're talking about when the fans do it on their own?
Yes.
I mean, well, I mean, I don't.
It's not the same anymore. That part, and it's because we don't have.
Well, people need to stay. People need to stay. But let's finally get into the game discussion. So the people that want to hear us break down the game can hear us do just that. So we'll start with Matt. Matt, so jump into the in-game discussion. Start in the first quarter and what you thought.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like offensively yesterday we got whatever we wanted. I mean, I thought it was the only times we were stopped were because we stopped ourselves. You know, we had a few drops. We had the one turnover at midfield. But I mean, look, when you could jump out of the gate and score 28 points in the first quarter, that's an impressive performance. And, you know, I thought we were running the ball well. I thought London Montgomery yesterday ran very tough in between the tackles in particular. Like he's really come along with his ability to run it in between the tackles. He runs harder than he used to. So, you know, I think that was fun to see. Now, you know, when you look at the last two games, right? If you look at Temple, we jumped out 14-0. Yesterday we jump out 28-0. All right, that's great. Now, what happened in both of those situations? We're up, we have the ball, and we fumbled, right? You look at Temple, Engelman had the fumble. Yesterday, we're up 28-0 with the ball at midfield. All right. Hauser scrambled and he put one on the ground. He fumbled. So both times the other team was able to take momentum back in the game, right? Like if you go back and look at yesterday, when Hauser fumbled and they got the ball at midfield, that's when they started to put some things together offensively and start to hit those deep balls. But you know, it goes to show the importance of not turning the ball over, especially in a game like against Memphis next week. You know, so offensively, very good for the most part. Defensively, guys, you look at some of those deep shots, you know, you go back and watch the film. You know, in the first one, we just zeroed out. The wide receiver was matched up with Teagan Wilk, you know, speedy wide receiver on a safety. That's a tough matchup, and he just beat him. So there are some things we could do defensively, but you think about it, and I'll shut up here. But outside of those three deep balls, and that's way too many, three deep balls. But it was a very good performance defensively if you just correct those deep shots.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we pretty much handled them except for those. And like I said earlier, when you get that big lead like that, a team like Charlotte's going to start taking those deep shots because they don't have anything to lose.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know they hit them. They hit on two or three of them, but that was it. They had nothing else on us. And you know that was the matchup with Wilk, and then they beat the young man from Western Carolina that we were praising for his play
Lowry.
against them. Yeah, they beat Lowry. So you know, but besides that, Charlotte didn't do much. We controlled them at the line of scrimmage, had several tackles for loss. You know, they never cut it but to 16, but mentally it felt closer to that
It
to
did.
me
It did.
because I think we were just so paranoid. Then you finally, you know, we answered pretty much every time. You know, it was put away. You know, at the end of the third quarter, the game was put away. You knew you were going to win it, and I think if it was anyone besides Charlotte with a 16-point lead, we'd have felt good about things. And it was just, from my point, feeling a little paranoid at times. But you know, 26-point win, 48-22. It was a dominating performance. I mean, it really was on all sides of the ball, and it was super easy in that first quarter. It was almost too easy. And but overall, just a solid performance. I don't know. I'm trying to think of any specific player. Montgomery played well, like Matt mentioned. I'm trying to think of anybody that stuck out to me really yesterday that had an insane game. To me, it was just a solid performance by everybody. How many passing yards did Caden end up with?
Caden, it wasn't one of his better I think 220, 224 maybe, something like that.
But very efficient.
He just didn't have a lot of offense, period, for the amount of points. That doesn't even make sense, I know. But we had less than 400 yards, I think.
Yeah, we were just very efficient.
When Dida came in, I think we ended up with 4-something. We ended up with 407, which was the second lowest total of the entire year. Only Clemson held us to less than 407. I'm Clemson. Only Tulane. Yeah. Clemson couldn't hold us to under 4, I don't think. Tulane held us to under 400.
That's it. Dramatic? Was that dramatic for
the amount of yardage we had on offense? But it didn't seem that way. And I think, it's game flow too had a lot to do with it. We didn't really need to run up a lot. I know that sounds weird. I'll give you an example. Late in the third quarter, we're up 38-22. It really wasn't late. I guess it was mid third quarter. And we threw what would have been a 56-yard touchdown to Anthony Smith, but he got tackled by the Charlotte DB. And it was a brilliant play. I don't know why more people don't do that. So we only got 15 yards, took it to the 41. And then luckily London Montgomery and Caton ran it London ran it twice. Caton ran it once, and we got the 41 yards in 3 plays and scored our 45th point. But what do you think about that, Stevie, as a coach? I think more teams, if you're going to get beat and it's a 30-plus yard throw, I don't know why more teams don't just do that. Just tackle the guy. Take the 15 yards. Any Matt or Stevie?
I've told my guys plenty of times, if you're going to get beat, tackle the guy. I'd rather give up 15 than a touchdown. I mean, I've said it time and time again.
Yeah, and another reason the offense, while we put up a lot of points and there wasn't a lot of yardage, if you look in the first half, particularly in the first half, we started almost every drive at midfield. I don't know, Johnny, if you have that in front of you, where we started most of the drives in the first half, but it was 35, 40, 45-yard line almost every damn possession in the first half. So that's one reason we didn't have as many yards despite the amount of points. And then the other one, like you said, they had maybe 3 or 4 PI penalties. So and then they had
number 11.
They had the 15-yard personal foul in the end zone that should have been a targeting that Stevie was talking about today while me and him were talking earlier. So there was a lot of hidden yardage yesterday because of field position and penalties.
Yeah, and then there were some uncharacteristic drops too. Like you look at Anthony Smith had that drop in I guess it was the second quarter.
Yeah,
we were talking about that earlier too, Matt. He hurt his hand earlier in the game. Guy hit he ran off.
Yeah, he did. He was shaking it.
Me and Kyle were talking about that earlier, so I don't know.
Yeah, he came to the sideline shaking his hand.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that was an uncharacteristic. I mean, that was a perfect ball, and that was one that you lay down at night and you just kick yourself over the fact that you didn't catch it. But and then Spalding had one. It was 4th and 1.
Yeah, right over the middle.
He ran just like a little slant. It was just a quick slant. I apologize for the dog in the background, guys, but he ran a quick slant, and if he caught it, he'd still be running. He may have scored on that. It was a perfect call. So, those are things, you talk about Memphis, like a really good team, how you're going to win that game. And, you got to make those plays. You can't we had 7 drops. You can't do that. And then you can't give up those deep shots.
We have to play like we did against Temple. We won't. I doubt we have that kind of rushing yards against Memphis, but we have to play like we did against Temple, where we play pretty much a perfect game, and that's what we're going to have to do against Memphis. Now, I do think it'll be easier if Memphis doesn't have their quarterback, which is looking like maybe the case. At least it's being speculated about us being an early slight favorite, 1.5 to 2.5 points.
1.5, yeah.
So it looks like Memphis may be without their starting quarterback. But they'll be ready to go regardless. They got talent all over that football field, so it's not like if they don't have him that they're just going to come in and we're just going to have to roll the ball out there and win. It's still going to be one hell of a competitive football game, but like our chances better without him. Although everybody will remember that when Memphis didn't have their starting quarterback one year and Rip Shearer Shearer's son came in, Scott Shearer I think was his name. Rip Shearer was their head coach at the time. Came in and for the first half of the game looked like Brett Favre. Matt, were you on that team?
What
No, I
year
think
was
you
this,
maybe already
Kyle?
graduated. I don't remember. Late '90s, early 2000s. It was
What was his name again?
Scott Shearer. Rip Shearer was when Rip Shearer was the head coach at Memphis, and his son was Scott Shearer, and he was like their third string quarterback, and just came in the first half and looked like Brett Favre. So I'm sure other Pirate fans remember that game. So maybe not.
God
Maybe
knows
I'm the
we've
only one
seen
that
the
does.
back. God knows we've seen a few backups over the years torch us, unfortunately. But
Kenny was
I
asking.
don't remember that
I
one.
think it was 2000, Matt, if I remember right. So you would not have been on that team.
Kenny's asking Johnny, how did we come out on penalties? It seemed to be a pretty.
Okay. Hey, Kenny, excellent question. We had 0 live game penalties. Like we had no penalties during actual playing time.
We had
Now,
the unsportsmanlike.
McCrimmon, hold on, Dave. McCrimmon did get an unsportsmanlike conduct 15-yarder because Caton handed him the ball to Spike. So he did his duty.
Yeah.
He spiked the ball, and he took the 15-yard penalty, but he took it for the team, and he was just doing, what he was supposed to do. I have no problem with that penalty, but we didn't have any other penalties.
Wow.
That's more hidden yardage on the other ways, were no penalties. Where I think I was speaking earlier about hidden yardage on their 15-yarders. When Charlotte got penalized, it seems like it was always 15-yarders. And then we had no penalties except that one. So again, that's why you can put up a lot of points without scoring, without having a lot of yards.
Yeah, they had 6 for 52.
Yeah. So there you go. Which that's really not that bad. But how many of those 6 for 15-yarders, Jr.?
What's that, Kyle? How many 15-yarders did they have?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they had at least. Penalty yardage is funny because sometimes like a holding play will happen during a significant run. So I don't know how they got to the 52. I'm thinking with that number, there was only 2, but it seems like there were 3.
It does seem like there was 2 PIs and a personal foul.
Yeah,
I agree.
They also had didn't they have offsides?
Yeah, they did. They did have an offsides. Yes, they did.
That was the one on the field goal, wasn't it?
No, they had 2 offsides. There was one on a field goal, and then there was one where a quarterback had a free play. So
yeah, we ended up
that
scoring a
doesn't seem right.
touchdown
It seems
after
like they had
that.
more than 6 penalties.
They had 5 in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, that's weird.
Scott Shearer, Kyle, you were right. 2000.
There you go. All right. Horrible game.
No doubt.
Really
Didn't
good
have
point,
the
guys.
best stats.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bud. Go ahead.
I was just going to chime. Somebody brought up in the comments Nick Mazzy.
Yes.
And man,
yeah.
I'll tell you guys, you talk about a really good point. Is that Greg who mentioned that? Really good point there by Greg, because he's somebody I've thought about. I wanted to bring him up the last few weeks, and for whatever reason I just didn't. But you talk about a huge offseason pickup. He came from University of New Hampshire, and we identified him in the portal. And I mean, he's been money. I mean, yesterday he drilled a 40 and a 50-yarder.
Yep, and made it was 6 extra points, right?
Yeah, I mean, so he's really developing into a weapon for us. I mean, he's the type of guy where, if you're in like a 31-31 game and you need a field goal to win it, I mean, he can step up and hit it. So that's a huge signing. So good point there, bringing him up.
Hey, speaking of kickers, I don't know if anybody out there has the answer to this. I haven't figured it out yet, but Everett Scott, the first 49 kickoffs of the season, Everett Scott kicked off every time. And now today we had 9 kickoffs, and Andrew Conrad kicked off every time. It's nice to see Andrew get some opportunities because he's not getting any behind Maisie. So at least he's getting in there, and he's he's been a good Pirate, and I'm happy to see him get the shot. But I don't know if Everett Scott was, maybe something happened in practice. They just replaced him. He was doing well, so I'm not sure why the change was made. And I know the kickoff is not really something that anybody worries or thinks about, but I was just curious.
I have no idea. That's a good question. I don't know. Did Charlotte had a dangerous return man? Did we kick away from him yesterday?
Well, he had one good return right there in the second quarter.
Exactly, Stevie. He did.
Yeah, I don't know how many. I don't. I didn't. Honestly, I wish I could tell you if I knew how many. It seems like we had a lot of touchbacks, so I don't know. I mean, maybe it was a situation where I don't know. Because if he was better at touchbacks, why wasn't he kicking the whole time?
He was. That return guy was pretty dangerous for coming into the game. I know he got out to like the 45. That one big return.
He had three consecutive. Well, in those last 2 games, he had 3 returns of over 35 yards.
Yeah,
Mazey's a senior, isn't he? So it could be a situation where trying to keep Conrad happy because we think we may need him for next year.
Maybe. Hey, another thing we did really well is our first 2 drives. Caton was sacked on both drives, and I was like, oh boy, we can't have this.
The answer is leg fatigue, according to Kevin.
Never had another one. After that second one, what was really early in the first quarter, I think at the 7:30 mark, was the second sack on the second drive. And after that, whatever, they figured it out. Charlotte didn't even get pressure after that, really.
Kevin said that Harold said leg was fatigued. I guess so, Scott.
So there you go. There's the answer to that. But you're right. Yeah, 2 sacks in the first half. Didn't give up any more the rest of the game. That concerned me a little bit when they had the 2 sacks in the first half. So glad to see that gone. Stevie said there's echo. Is that for me, Stevie? You sent that straight to me.
No, I heard it for a minute, but that's okay. I don't want to hear it now.
Okay.
Guys, how about one thing I want to talk about? Are we all good with that point? Did everybody get their points in there?
Yeah.
All right. First of all, Tymere Brown with the pick 6.
Wow.
Really happy to see him. Really happy to see him make that play. Like he's the guy. He's a kid I respect because he transferred in here from North Carolina. He had to wait his turn. He stuck with it, and he's putting together a good season. So I was happy for him to make that play. But I'll tell you guys, I think we really need to, who we start and who we play at corner against Memphis, I think really could make a huge difference in that game. And you look at where we are, and I'm a little concerned right now. Lowry has been very shaky. He played well against Temple yesterday. I think he was our lowest graded player according to Pro Football Focus. And I'm not trying to look, but when you come in this day and age from the portal and in the whole NIL world, right, you have to step up and play. And he's been very inconsistent this year. And I don't know if he's the guy at that corner. I honestly don't know. So I think it's going to be a big evaluation this week, I guess you would say, to make sure that we get our best corners on the field. What do you guys think about that?
I agree. I think it's more important if they have their quarterback. I don't know what their backup has. But either way, yeah, I agree with you. Where are we at on the young man that was injured at corner, the reason Lowry's playing so much? Any chance he's going to be back this week? He wasn't. I didn't think it was a season-ending injury. When are we going to get him back?
My understanding is he's not going to be back until the bowl game, but I could be wrong about that. I think he had a fracture. Johnny, am I right that he had a fracture in his leg? Does that sound right?
I don't know if Johnny's with us.
I think it was worse than. Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. I think it was worse than what we could have hoped for. I knew that was going to be. I didn't know the bowl there, Matt, but I think I did know that it was going to be maybe later in the year when it happened. But I haven't heard anything since that time.
Hey, sorry, fellas. My mic was off. I didn't realize it. I was talking away. Anyhow, as far as the injury goes, I know he was, expected to be out several weeks, but I don't know that it was actually a fracture. I don't know that it was, but we're forgetting about Chance Graves. He had an outstanding game. I thought he had one of the best games on the defensive side of the ball. He had that sack where he just flattened the quarterback, and he had he had at least one pass breakup. He had a couple tackles for losses. He was all over the place. Number 12. He was everywhere. He had a great game.
Yeah, he did.
And, we haven't seen a lot of Chance Graves during meaningful, game time. So I like what I saw with him. So there's your answer as far as another cornerback. Because Horsley, like I mentioned earlier, he didn't play, which, I was surprised at against Temple. And I don't even know that he played against Charlotte. I didn't see him in there. But also on defense, real quick, I want to give Zion Wilson a shout out.
Oh, yeah. Good Lord.
He was a monster.
And I don't know what was up with
absolute
Jordy
monster.
yesterday. How Jordy played so well against Temple and then, played horrible yesterday. We'll hopefully have a bounce back game against Memphis. I just wanted to ask everybody quickly, on a confidence level, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. If Memphis doesn't have their quarterback, how much does that change your confidence level? So let's put it at a 5. Let's say this game's a 50-50 game. If Memphis has their quarterback, it's a 5. Okay, let's all establish it's a 5. So if they don't have their quarterback, does that put it at a 7 for y'all, or an 8, a 9? Where does that put the game with starting at a confidence level 5 if they have their quarterback?
I'll say 8 out of 10. I think I think not that they don't have athletes, but I think we saw over the last handful of years when we don't have a quarterback, it makes a huge difference. So especially their starter, and I'll go 8 out of 10.
I'm not sure. Kyle, I think I'm the one that said that I didn't think Lewis was going to play against Tulane because the spread changed 9 points, and you just never see that. So I said that has to mean Lewis isn't playing, but he did play. And now this spread is a little fishy to me. So, I'm assuming he's not playing, but, he may be playing. And his backup, when he came in, I think he was 4 or 7 for like 51 yards. Didn't have any turnovers or anything, but that's when they were playing come from behind mode. So he was getting a good pass rush, and he didn't look terrible. He's not the runner that Brendan Lewis is, that's for sure. But if it's not Lewis, I would say like a 7.
Okay. Matt?
Yeah, I go with a 7 too. I would go with a 7 too, only because I've seen us get burned by backups plenty of times over the years, and you can never be too confident, especially with I'm not too overly confident with our corner situation right now. So yeah, I would say a 7, and just to kind of touch on what Johnny was saying about Brendan Lewis. He did leave that game in the fourth quarter the other night. He took a heavy shot on a blitz, and I'm not sure exactly what the injury is. I want to say it's a collarbone or like a shoulder type injury. But man, did he take a heavy shot. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. If he doesn't go, I definitely like our chances a lot better.
I'm gonna say an 8, and I'll tell you why. If he doesn't play, they're a run first team, and we're pretty good against the run. So if we're able to shut down their run game, which we've been able to shut down everybody else's, and then we make them have to throw the ball with their backup, and I'm sure the kid is very good. But I think early in the game, if we put him in that situation, he'll struggle. They are a second half team anyway. So I think if they don't have Lewis, that takes away the running quarterback threat, and that puts them having to run the ball probably more in their game plan, and we're pretty good against the run. So I think if they don't have their quarterback, I'm going to put my confidence level somewhere between a 7 and an 8. If they do have Lewis, it's a 5. It's a 50-50 game.
Yeah. Another thing, Lewis leads the team in rushing. He's got 686 yards and 8 touchdowns. He leads.
Yeah, it's a big loss. I'll solid 8 if they don't have Lewis.
What about you, Stevie?
I'll say it's 7. I'm like, but like Kyle said, with if he's there, I'm about like a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, I also have a question for you guys, and there's a reason why I'm asking this. So the Memphis game, do you take the ball? If you win the toss, do you take the ball first or defer?
I always defer if I have the option. It seems like every damn game this year we've had the ball first. Um, unless you feel really good about your script, because most of the time your first drive is scripted, and you feel really good about jumping up on them. I'm not in the head of the mind of the coaches. Maybe if they had their backup quarterback, particularly, you might want to take the ball first and try to make them play from behind right to start with. But otherwise, I'm deferring.
All right, Stevie, what you got?
Oh, I always like to defer, but there were situations like Kyle said. If you,
I agree with you, but I've got something for you guys.
I would like to set the tone earlier, and if in a game like this, with my offense, defense is strong, really strong, but I want to get my offense going and go right down the field on them and just put them into place early, set the tone early, be physical with them, and get that offense rolling, and maybe get a touchdown on that first possession, and sit them back and have them thinking about it.
Matt, what do you like?
I agree with Stevie there. I definitely would want the ball in this game, and I like the way we've been starting fast recently. And I'd want to score, right? In an ideal situation, I'd want to score, kick off, try to get the crowd involved. Maybe get a 3 and out there, and you have a chance to get good field position and tack on some more points. So I kind of like every week I kind of have a different feel for that, but this week I think I want the ball.
Johnny, how about you?
Yeah, there's rare occasions where I would not defer, but yeah, I like the idea of making this kid making him come into a game already down and have no comfort level whatsoever. He's got to start getting them down the field in a hurry, and I'm confident that our offense could score on the first drive. Also, if you take the ball first and then you end up at the end of the first half with it first, you have like an extra possession, and then in the second half, if you have even possessions, you end up with an extra, possession, which it could be, that could be crucial.
Well, the reason I brought that up is there's a stat for you, Johnny. When we've scored a touchdown, we were the first to score, we're 6-0. So I know that some of the games we had, obviously Campbell in there, but hey, you still have and Charlotte, but you still have the Coastal game. You still have obviously the
Temple Army.
Temple and Army. So Tulsa, but so every game we've won, we've scored first, a touchdown. And so for me, I'm like you guys. I like the defense. Normally what I would say is normal circumstances, I would say defer. We would get the ball first in the second half with our defense. However, with that stat, it just makes me lean against my norm, so to speak. So that's the reason why I asked you guys. I thought that was not to steal your thunder. I'm sorry, Johnny, if I did, but I thought that was an interesting stat. That it's a Johnny stat, kind of like stat.
No, I didn't. I saw the press release, but I wasn't aware of that before then.
Yeah.
So that was a good one.
Yeah. So guys, obviously with this game, we talked.
Can you guys hear the rain here at my house? It is raining its ass off here.
No, I can't.
Wow. It's dry in Greenville.
What?
Yeah, it's dry here.
It is raining heavy and
cold front moving through.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, with the Memphis game, and we talked about taking 3 games, whether the 3 games taking 1 game at a time. You hate to use that coaching cliche. However, this Memphis game, man, I'm telling you, you win this Memphis game. Not that the other 2 games are hard. I'm not trying to. Easy. There's no on the schedule. There's not like 3 cupcakes or 1 hard game and 2 cupcakes. They're all tough games, but as Johnny said, they're winnable games. What are you looking for, Matt? We had basically a great stat from Johnny of we relatively, when you look at penalties, except for that unsportsmanlike, penalty free, basically. No false starts, which we'd had a million of. Think about holding, how many, the dumb and sportsmanlike calls that we get. So what are you guys looking for this week getting the win? What are your keys to the win? I know it's early and we don't have our preview until Wednesday, but what do y'all think?
Score more points than they do.
Okay. Yeah, that's obvious.
Hey, Dave, while you're at it, Kenny Curlins, put up his latest comment. He's got a good comment up here.
If our offense haven't taken 2 quarters off each against State and Tulane, look at where we could be. If our offense shows up for 4 quarters, we're hard to beat with our defense playing well. Absolutely, Kenny. I thought about that. I won't say the word I used this morning for the Tulane game. I was like, man, I wish we could have that Tulane game.
Yeah, the Tulane game, NC State, our offensive line hadn't came together yet. But yeah,
BYU, we knew that was going to be a hard game.
That Tulane game is really annoying for several reasons. We'd be first place, alone in first place of the conference, had we beaten Tulane. But anyway, it is what it is. But to answer Dave's question about keys to victory, you need to look into it more. But if whether Memphis has a strong quarterback or not, the key to Memphis is going to be stop the run. Their quarterback has over 600 some rushing yards. If they don't have them, they'll rely heavy on the running back. It's going to be stop the run. Make sure we can defend the deep ball because they're going to take deep shots on us at corner. And on offense, just execute. Just execute. Get the run established. Take what's there. Be consistent. We can't go long periods. We can't go hot and cold on offense. We're going to have to be consistent. Don't turn the ball over. Don't beat yourself, which is something we've gotten much better as the season's gone. And just execute. We're gonna need to play. I don't know that we're gonna need to play perfect, but if we play as we play as well as we did at Temple, we'll have a really good chance to beat Memphis. And I think it improves dramatically if they don't have their starter at quarterback. I think our chances improve dramatically. So that's my keys. Just stop the run on defense. Don't give the deep ball on defense, and then on offense, just don't go hot cold. Just be consistent.
What about you guys, Johnny? Do you have anything? The keys.
I would love to come up with something different, but Memphis is essentially a running team.
Yeah,
and so stopping the run is going to be a big deal, especially. Even the kid, if he's gonna be the starter, the quarterback, Maidens, he's had very little throwing experience whatsoever. So, I mean, it's just in the way they play, the way they design their offense. The quarterback is like a point guard,
right?
And he runs a lot. So no matter if it's Lewis or Maidens, we got to stop the run. I agree with Kyle on that. That's number one.
And we're still 13th in the country on run defense.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the last week or two. I'm not sure.
If you're interested,
I am.
So rushing defense, we're 18th in the nation.
Okay.
Scoring defense, we're 15th. Fourth down defense, we're 8th. Red zone defense, we're 6th. Red zone touchdowns, we're 5th. We've only allowed 10 all season. And the other 4 teams are Texas A&M, Indiana, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma. So
what were we talking about?
Loss, which we're 3rd in. We're 3rd with tackles for loss. And those 4 teams are the other top 5 teams. And then we're tied for 1st with Ohio State in percentage of red zone scores that are a touchdown. Only 55% of the opponent's scores in the red zone are touchdowns. The rest are field goals. That's way, way, way less. The average is like 75 to 80. We're at 55. So, I mean, we're doing a great job in the red zone. Charlotte was 1 for 5 on 4th down and 1 for 2 in the red zone. So, the 4th down, stopping on 4th down and stopping in the red zone, we need to continue to excel at both of those.
And what were we saying about the defense in the offseason? How was it going to be our Achilles heel? Jeez,
doubt.
we were wrong. We were wrong.
Yeah,
We
Matt,
were. I'll definitely take ownership of that one.
I will too.
You
Good
know,
problem.
like just kind of chime in on this, like what I see, like, you know, just watching a lot of this conference this year, and like I really feel like there's so much parity, and on any given week, like it's whoever's mentally locked in and has a great game plan has a chance to win. Like, you know, you look at UAB several weeks ago when they knocked off Memphis. You know, and I just look at ECU the last few weeks, the way we looked at Temple and the way we came out of the gate yesterday. We just look like a team to me that's coming into its or peaking at the right time.
Right.
And we just seem like we seem mentally more dialed in. I don't know how to put my finger on that. I'm sure you guys can see it too. And I just feel like for us, it's all about like if our preparation is good, if we're mentally locked in, and we just play our game, I think we're gonna have a very good chance to come away with a W here. But
All right. Here's something real quick. John White, great pitcher under Gary Overton, said JR was the only one who had confidence in defense. Pull up the tape.
I remember that.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I did have a question for you guys too, related to the defense, and I saved it until the moment we are right now. What are the chances? Do you have like a high percentage or not? But I'm just going to ask this point blank to you. Do we keep Josh Aldridge as our defensive coordinator or no?
That's a good question.
I've been saving.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if we finish the season out as strong as we are at this point, if we finish out the season with a top 25 defense, it is going to be hard to hang on to Josh.
Yeah.
Money at him.
With all these head coaches opening, somebody's going to hire him as a defensive coordinator. It's going to be hard. I hope we do. I really do. I hope, really hope. I mean, but it's going to be hard to match. You know, I would say this to Josh. You know, don't take any job offer you get because, you know, let's say South Carolina or somebody like that. Let's say, yeah, I'm just using an example of somebody whose head coach is in year 4 or 5 and he's coaching them for his job. I wouldn't take that defensive coordinator position. Now, if you're going somewhere where somebody's coming in and you can come in with them, sure. But I would tell Josh to be selective on the job he takes. But yeah, there's going to be offers for him and JDB if we finish strong, and I hope that's the case because that means we did finish strong. But I sure hope we hang on to him. But you know, who do you think? The follow up on Dave's question. Who do you think is more likely to be the hotter candidate or the hotter coordinator, Josh Aldridge or JDB? Because I think both are going to be looked at by quite a few schools.
Right now, I think Aldridge. I mean, with the job he's done with that defense, just like I said, because everybody.
Yeah, on paper it was trash.
Everybody except JR was worried about that defense.
Yep.
So I mean, what he did with that defense is the best story of our season this year.
He told me when I was interviewing, remember that, Johnny? He said he was not worried. I'm sorry, not media day, but the kickoff luncheon. This is his quote. He said to me, let's just say, this is what he said to me. Let's just say the defensive line is not the position I'm worried about, or something to that effect.
Yeah, he told me.
That came from Tesh?
No, from
Aldridge.
He sat with us at the table there with our friends Johnny at the kickoff luncheon, and that's because I asked him. I said, "Off the record, Coach, how's it? I mean, is a defensive line people worried about that?" And he looked at me and said, almost verbatim to what I'm saying, "Defensive line is the last position I'm worried about."
Yeah, and when I interviewed Josh at Media Day, he said something very similar, and he was very confident. You could tell he wasn't BSing you.
Yeah.
But the defense has played phenomenal, and I do think, like I say, if we finish strong, he'll have some opportunities. I think John David will too. You know, you hope Blake isn't rebuilding. I hope we're in a position where those guys are both hot candidates, but I hope Blake isn't rebuilding his whole coaching staff. But if that be the case, that be the case. That means we finished very strong.
Exactly. And we still have everything. We're still playing for everything right now. So very excited about that. What do you guys think, Stevie and Johnny? What do you guys think about? Do you think we lose Aldridge? Do you think we're keeping? I mean, I think I could see where we lose Aldridge and keep JDB all day long, but that's just me.
Okay. My take is this is not a normal year, so you have to consider that. There's just so many jobs open.
Yeah.
That, I hate to use cliches, but it's going to be the domino effect. Like,
Yeah.
there's going to be people getting opportunities that wouldn't normally, just because there's going to be so many. And I'm not saying that he wouldn't deserve an opportunity. I'm not saying that at all.
Right.
But I think they're going to have to look deeper and, do maybe some teams just wanted, they're a defensive minded team. They want, a solid defense to start the rebuild. He's a great candidate. And, as far as JDB, I mean, I could see where somebody would be interested in him as well.
Right.
I don't know. There's just so many openings available that some of these assistants they have to be hired. They have to be, or there's just not enough coaches to go around.
Well, we'll just continue this discussion and make it even more worrisome. Let's say we get what we want and we go 9-3 and we won't even talk about conference championship games. But let's just pretend like 10-3. Let's say 9-3, win our ball game, go 10-3.
Third time in school history.
Do you think Blake, starts getting some phone calls from some Power 4 schools? I mean, we're talking about his coordinators getting hired, but if we had that kind of finish, and that's a lot of ifs and buts, but could a Virginia Tech, for example, or like JR said, there's going to be a domino effect. You're going to have coaches from ACC schools going to SEC schools, et cetera. There's going to be lots of openings out there. So, what do you think? How many wins do you think we would have to have for Blake to get a Power 4 offer?
10.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say 10.
That means win out and win the bowl game. I really feel not to say that we won't have we're going to have a good year regardless. But like in other words, we went 9-4, 10-3. But I really think the 10-3 would be for me.
I'll say 9. I think the bowl game would be irrelevant. I think if we go 9-3 in the regular season, I'm not saying he'll take a job, and I'm not saying he'll get offered a job, but I think you'll see his name come up for some jobs.
Yeah, I think he would probably need a little more of which sounds even if he wins 9 games, and possibly a bowl game, I think he still has a pretty limited body of work in terms of a head coach. 1.5 seasons, so I think that one's a little more. I think the more realistic. You look at the coordinators, and this goes back to what we talked about earlier. I think Blake has created a really good environment here, and I think coaches want to work for him because. He, like we always talk about, he's a likable guy. He's not like the dictator type. He's the type of guy you'd want to work with and for. Versus again, I hate to bash on Mike Houston, but I'm going to do it. I don't think a lot of coaches wanted to work under him, based on a lot of things I've heard over the years. And I just think if you're a coordinator and you're in a good situation, you're in a great place like Greenville, right? You're working for a head coach you really like. You like working for him, and you feel like your program is on the upswing. There's a lot to be said for staying in one place instead of just jumping at the next hot job. I think JDB would be more likely to do that because he's very young. I think he's an up and comer. But I think because of what Blake is doing, you're more likely to keep them.
Yeah, and guys, again, think about this for a minute. We've talked about this stat about the fact he's second behind John Christenberry. His first 15 games, he's 11-4, right? We have, and help me out, guys, we have 3 Hall of Fame coaches. We have Stasovich, we have Logan, and there's one more. I'm Pat Dye. Sorry, yeah. So you have 3 Hall of Fame coaches that had great careers here at East Carolina, and they didn't have the start that Blake Harrell had. And I know that it's early. It's only been 15 games, but Matt, I know we've talked about ad nauseum about trying all the years we tried to defend Mike Houston, and look at, I mean, this guy comes in. It was never, as we talked about, it was never a question of talent. We have added more depth over the years, which we were concerned about. We had issues at quarterback. I'm not saying all that, but if you look at it, man, if somehow we can keep whatever we have to do. Another thing I've heard guys on the street, I want to ask you guys, is after this year, let's say that we have the magical year, we win 9-3, we win our bowl game. Again, we're not even talking about the conference championship, and it's probably even worse of a chance to make the playoff. But let's say that we go 9-3, we win the bowl game, we get in 10-3. Do you offer another extension to Blake? Do you offer him more to try to keep him?
Blake got his extension by getting to 6 wins yesterday.
Yeah, he got
it was in his contract.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
For only signing a 4-year deal instead of a 5-year deal.
Okay.
He added in his contract that if he got bowl eligible, now he's got to coach the bowl game, so it doesn't officially happen until we actually go to the bowl. But
Okay.
yeah, he got a 1-year extension as of yesterday, pending the bowl game.
People have been asking me that this past week, so I wanted to ask that question to you guys.
Now, will his contract get there? I think if you win, and we might end up 6-6, but
Yeah.
I think if you win 9 or 10 games, I think it probably gets renegotiated and he gets a little bump in pay.
Yeah.
But he got an extension as of yesterday.
Okay. Did that add so in other words, they added like 1 year?
He added 1 year. He goes back to 4 years. Yep.
Okay. All right. Just want to double check on that. So for people listening, and I'll tell people at work, they asked that question. 2 or 3 people did. And so I said, I'll make sure I ask it on the playback. So guys, I did have an important question for you guys. And we'll obviously talk more football, but Matt Semenza, can you tell everybody you had a first tonight, right? Our pregame meeting, you had a first tonight. Did you want to tell people about that? You've never had something and you tried something for the first time. I think our fans and Empire Nation would like to hear about it.
Well, as you guys know, we do like to talk food on this show from time to time, and I think this came up a few years ago. And Kyle, I mentioned I had never had pecan pie. Let me say it the right way.
Pecan. Thank you.
Pecan. There you go, man. All right.
Kyle almost fell out of his chair. And again, this is probably going back 2 years when I mentioned that I had never had it before. Yeah, that was kind of a long joke. Today I had it for the first time. I just took a few bites before the show, so I'm sure the Southern delicacy, pecan pie, right, Kyle?
Pecan pie. You said it right the first time.
Nah,
have you ever had sweet potato pie?
I have. Yeah, I've had that. I have
Love
had that.
sweet potato pie. Love sweet potato
That's
pie.
really good. Yeah, Thanksgiving coming up. So go ahead.
Matt,
Yes,
where was
yeah,
your pecan pie made? It's a Yankee pecan pie, right? Didn't you get it up north?
It's a Yankee pecan pie.
I want you to try one down here and then tell me which one's better.
Jessica makes a really good one. I remember Kyle said.
Yeah, I could have her make
Jessica.
one. I could have her make one and hook you up Saturday if she'll do it.
Well, look, I won't say no to some food, so I don't want.
Hey, you're coming down here next weekend. I will bring a pecan pie for you.
Oh wow!
Just take it past the Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel's
No. I'm going to get one baked right in the state of North Carolina with North Carolina pecan.
There, wouldn't you, Kyle?
No, I would not. Not want to run a rapids anyway, Stevie. Those fried okra that want to run a rapids could be used as pellets for a pellet gun.
The rocks in the parking lot would softer the nose.
Oh
No
my
kidding.
God!
JR, you don't think we have good pecans up here in the state of Connecticut?
I doubt y'all grow pecans in the state of Connecticut.
Yeah, I'm just a little suspicious. I'm not
Do
saying
they
you
have
don't.
pecan trees in Connecticut?
I would doubt it. I mean,
No.
It's a climate. Yeah, it's a climate thing, right?
yeah, I wouldn't think they would. I can ask Alexa.
Oh gosh.
There's no way.
Alexa, do they grow pecans in Connecticut?
Offstate.edu. They grow.
They grow.
They grow.
They
grow.
They grow marijuana too, but that's a whole.
Wow. Thanks, Alexa.
They grow.
If I could, I would bring you guys some New Haven style pizza.
Oh
No,
man.
that'd be great. You can. It would just be cold by the time you got it here.
Yeah, cold
Yeah,
pizza.
wouldn't be so fresh, but because
One bite,
that's
everybody knows the rules.
exactly like if you've ever been to Connecticut, like we don't have much to offer in this state. I'm not a huge fan of Connecticut. I just happen to live here, but uh, we do have very good pizza. And like if you ever travel to Connecticut, New Haven is kind of famous for
Yeah.
very thin style crust pizza. Yeah, I would love for you guys to be able to try it. I wish I could get it down there somehow. But
It kills me that Bubba went up there and he did not have New Haven pizza. I mean, like, I'm such a foodie with my fat
Oh yeah,
ass, you wouldn't be surprised. But there's no way I would go to Connecticut and not have New Haven style pizza. I mean, that's
and I've got to try the casinos too. Mohegan Sun.
oh
Matt.
yeah.
So there's a place that they say they're from Connecticut, and it's a pizza place right near DC. It's in Arlington, Virginia, and sometimes if I play softball up there, I'll get a pizza for the way home,
Okay.
and they put like hot oil on it. Is that a Connecticut thing? Like they drizzle it with oil, and then they put sport peppers on it. Like if you ask for it, you don't have to have them, but I like spicy. Is that a Connecticut thing? Because I've never had that on any other pizza ever before.
I don't know if that's a Connecticut thing. I mean, honestly,
like
I'm trying to.
hot olive oil, you mean?
No, I don't know what kind of oil it is.
Yeah, it would probably be olive oil.
It's like a chili infused oil.
Okay, yeah, that sounds a little unique, honestly.
That's an artisan style pizza.
I'm gonna look it up and figure out what part of Connecticut they're from.
Yeah, so let me know. Let me know for sure. I mean, I'll try any type of pizza.
Luna is really good in Greenville, man. Yeah, and then I've never had Cucinella, but I've heard it's good pizza. But I can tell you, Luna's really good.
One of your former teammates, Mark Libiano, says with a pecan pie made with butter or condensed milk with butter.
Mark, I can't answer that question. Come on. What?
Somebody with butter or condensed milk?
Mark's living in California, so they definitely don't have any pecan pie out there.
My wife makes pecan pie. She uses butter. There's no condensed milk involved. It's Cairo syrup, brown sugar, butter, pecans, and a couple other ingredients. Vanilla. There's no condensed milk involved to what she makes.
Oh, Kenny's got something for you, Matt.
All right.
Matt, come out at halftime Saturday, and I'll feed you some good Southern
I don't think that's going to happen.
Just make sure you go back
Kenny,
in.
as long as we get back in the stadium, brother, I'll definitely come eat. Just let me know where you're set up.
We're gonna do a quick little off topic here as we close this out. I'm gonna ask you guys help me out here. Come up with foods. I'm gonna ask Matt if he's had some foods here. All right, Matt. Now you lived in North Carolina for a while, so it's possible. Okay.
Barbecue.
So, all right, Matt. So we all know he's had Eastern North Carolina barbecue. Yeah. All right, Matt. Have you ever had fried chicken livers?
Fried chicken liver?
Oh, yes, sir.
That would be a negative.
They're delicious.
Mm.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Parker's has
Hey, Matt, here's what I just figured this out. Okay, so this place is called the Colony Grill. They say that they started in 1935 in Stamford, Connecticut.
All right. So
home of WWE.
And it says that it's Irish pizza. It was started by Irish immigrants, and it's thin crust, and it's best served with their signature hot oil topping.
Yeah, so nothing like Irish pizza. That's what I think.
There you go.
I can honestly say I've never heard of Irish
said,
pizza.
hell no.
It's good.
No offense to
really
the Irish.
good.
I do like a good corned beef and cabbage, but when it comes to pizza, I'm sticking with the Italians.
I want to ask about a couple more Southern foods here. So we asked him fried chicken livers. He never had them. Collards. Have you ever had collards?
I have, and I do like collards.
I do like collards. How about
I
that?
do. Yeah. When they're done right, I do love collards.
Hey, I got one for you. Chitlins. Chitlins.
Chitlins? What the hell's a chitlin?
Oh, you want to know what a chitlin is? You want to know what a chitlin is? It's the intestines from a hog, like where their shit runs through. And you take them and you clean out the intestines to make sure all the shit's out. And then you cook them up. And it literally, if you ever smell them being cooked, it literally smells like shit.
Yeah, it's not. That's something.
But you didn't sell me on it. I could tell you that.
I don't eat them.
Chicken livers are very good, but I just
chicken livers are great. Kyle, all right, you ever had rutabagas?
Rutabaga. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think so.
No, that means no, you haven't.
I
love rutabagas.
All right, I got another one, Kyle.
All right.
What about oxtails?
Oh, it's soul food, baby, with oxtails.
Oxtail? No, hell
They
no.
had
That's a
that.
cow tail. It's good. It's just beef.
Oxtail, it's a tail, and it makes its own gravy, Matt, and it's brown.
It's just beef.
Yeah, it's
Huh.
beef.
It's just beef.
And Matt, I do have a breakfast delicacy in the South that actually, over the years, I've finally learned to love them. And
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
grits.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going with that. Yeah, have you
My
had
cousin
grits?
Vinny. You seen my cousin Vinny, Matt. You know about grits.
Oh yeah, well those were that was when they
Magic
had
grits?
the debate versus minute grits or proper grits, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had grits?
I have had. I'm not a fan of grits, honestly.
Have you ever
I'm
had
not
cheese
either.
grits?
Cheese grits are very good.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I had them from I think I had them from like Bojangles. I don't know.
No, you need some good shrimp and grits. There's a lot of good grits recipes.
Yeah.
How about
Another
a cheese biscuit?
good cheese biscuit's hard to beat.
I
Hey,
definitely
guys,
will.
there's a great. Speaking of oxtail, on Friday at lunch, our former boss Brandon Bishop came into town. Former Pirate that called a touchdown pass in that wonderful game against the Tar Heels, 70 to 41. Anyway, there's a place called, it's on Green Street, not too far away from the airport. It's called Sambor Latino. I can put it in the chat the way it's.
Yeah.
But it's a great Dominican, and they have really good oxtail.
Yeah, Dominican oxtail's really big there. Well, I'll hit you with one more.
Villa Verde?
No,
No.
Sambor Latino. It's a extremely awesome place that most people would never. I'm not saying a hole in the wall, but
Did you say it's Dominican?
yes, it's authentic. They have like a buffet that's really good. The food is really, really.
It's in Greenville?
Yes, sir. On Green.
Never knew. I just Dominican food. The only one I knew was Villa Verde.
There's a lot of hole in the wall places in Greenville, particularly you get to small little hood areas that you'd be surprised. Matt, one more I'll hit you with because I make these. I love them. I don't mean out of a can. I mean true, dry, soak them overnight. Do you eat black eyed peas?
Love them.
I have, and I like them. Again though, you gotta I'm probably not having the
I
really
make
good stuff.
I make black eyed peas very unique. I have my own recipe and thing I do to them, and they're. I think my black eyed peas are better than anybody else's, but I really don't know anybody else that makes them like I make mine. So you
Special
can even.
sauce.
I'll try anything.
Yeah. Shut up, Stevie. Don't tell them about the special sauce.
We we talk about this every year, but one of these years we are going to play in the Fenway Bowl, and
we're going for it. Yeah.
If I get all you guys up here, I could introduce you to some great Italian food. So I know you guys love a nice braciole, so we'll take care
Dude,
of
I
that.
love Italian food. I absolutely love Italian food.
I'm telling you right now, Fenway Bowl against Clemson. That's my early pick.
I don't want to play Clemson at all. I would.
But
To me, this would be the
But don't you think this is the year to play Clemson? Because
okay, I'll answer your question, Dave. I was about to.
Okay.
Yes, it would be the year to play Clemson, except they have a guy on their staff named Mike Houston who knows all our personnel. So that would be a negative, Ghost Rider.
I don't think. Well, he couldn't get them off. He couldn't win.
He knows the personnel. That's no, thank you.
Well, how great would it be to beat him?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but he knows all our personnel. I mean, it's not it's a disadvantage. I mean, we have no advantage by knowing him because he's just an assistant coach. It's not like we know what he's going to do. He's not calling anything.
But a lot of those players, we have a lot of transfer guys that have come in too.
Yeah, yes, but and he also knows John David Baker's system. He also knows Blake Harrell like the back of his hand. No, thank you, no.
Really quick, guys. I'm going off script a little bit here, but I just want to say, we talk a lot about upcoming coaches and maybe coach of the year type guys, and I'll tell you, I was at the UConn versus Duke game yesterday, and there is not a more impressive turnaround in the country than what Jim Mora Jr. has done at Connecticut.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you guys just think back to where that program
Oh,
was,
it was dead. Yeah.
it was garbage.
Would you let UConn back in the conference as a football only member or no?
I would have no problem with it at all. I'll tell you what, man, they played well. That Duke was a pretty hot team coming in, and they were able to win that game. So, when you talk about a guy like if I was, at an SEC school, I would be looking at Jim Mora Jr. all day long.
Yeah.
Kenny inviting you to his tailgate, Matt.
What's that now? Okay.
Down her slot.
Kenny, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. Maybe I'll, what does it say? We are having live music and plenty of food. Wow. And it's your wife's birthday. Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah, and that way you don't have to pay like the big amount of money for concessions.
Last time Matt had his own tailgate.
I was going to tell Matt, Kenny's tailgate is not far from where Bubba and I tailgate with Tom. So
okay,
we could easily take a little short walk over there.
I definitely want to make the rounds and get to. It would be nice, I don't get a chance to really meet a lot of people, so people that listen to this show. So I'll definitely. It would be good to make the rounds. I'll probably wind up eating like 10 pounds of food.
If anybody look, we can.
But I won't be leaving at halftime.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, I was gonna say something about UConn. Just a few short years ago, I would say UConn and UMass, they were in the exact same position. I mean, they were both equally awful. And UMass joined the MAC, but they haven't been able to turn it around. But what UConn's done, I agree, it's absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, it is, and nobody's talking about Jim Mora Jr. out there. It surprises me. I mean, like even if you're like a Penn State, man, you got to look at that. That's the type of guy I want to see. A guy who does more with less.
He'd be a good fit for Virginia Tech.
I think Franklin's going to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I like that hire too. Actually, I like either one of them for Virginia Tech.
Kyle.
Hey Kyle, we're getting your rain, buddy. Your rain's come to Greenville. We're thunderstorms and like some type of hail or something.
There you go. Yeah, you're just a little bit further east than I am. So there it is. Stop here.
No rain in Alaska right now.
Alaska?
Yeah, no, just snow.
Okay. All right. Alaska, North Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah. No rain here, but it's probably coming our way.
Yep. There you go. All right.
Last night.
What are you guys seeing for weather on Saturday? I'm seeing a high of 66 and sunny.
That does not sound right. Hold on, I'll tell you. Let me get to Greenville.
Send it to the meteorologist, Kyle Bulger.
AMS certified or something like that.
That's it. Yeah.
No, TSO certified.
Yeah, actually, they have up. Earlier today it was 58. Now they're saying a high of 67, overnight low of 46. So, yeah, that'll be really nice weather, Matt. Earlier it was 48. Earlier it was high of 58 and a low of 40. So they've upped it quite a bit.
We got 70 degrees here on Sunday.
Yeah.
So 67 and 46. So yeah, you'll have good weather.
Wow,
and
that's
sunny.
amazing. I'll take that all day.
No, what's the high right now in Connecticut, Matt? I mean, it's got a. Is it?
Well, it's been cool
days
here
it's
up
been
until
warm.
this week. Yeah, it's going to be 29 degrees here tomorrow night. So it ain't like it's. This has been a brief warm up, but. And Matt, you'll be surprised, and I know Stevie is really excited about this, and he's been talking about this. I can't get Stevie to quit talking about this. He talks about it so damn much, but you'll be happy. I know New England's known for its fall color, but there's actually fall color in Eastern North Carolina this year. So that may be the first time you've ever seen that in the East when you come this year.
I feel like there's more to this. Is there a joke behind this? What am I missing?
No, not really.
Do I want to know?
I have an obsession with fall foliage, and Stevie pointed it out to me the other day, like I didn't already know it. But,
wait, do you say foliage?
Foliage, yeah, yeah, foliage.
Isn't it?
Not
foliage?
Mick Foley. Foliage, not Mick Foley.
Foliage. Am I saying it wrong? Foliage.
It's like, you get on me because I say pecan. It's foliage.
Yeah,
Foliage.
foliage.
Ed, you're
Dave,
right.
what is the proper way to say it, Dave? Come on.
You're right. It's foliage. You're right.
Foliage. Yeah, like I said, foliage. So yeah, but Stevie pointed that out to me as if I didn't already know. He's like, "You're always talking about fall color."
Well, you would love it up here in New England, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Stevie doesn't sound like Barney Fife.
Hell, he does too.
Come on, Andy.
I can't. Yeah, well, okay. I'll just talk like Wood Button. That would be more like Stevie.
Or Button.
Yeah.
I want a cat skid steer loader.
Yeah.
All right. So, by the way, the women's basketball team quickly, I was going to say, fell apart. Johnny, in the third quarter, we lost at Liberty. So that was it was like one, and then our basketball team, like we thought, guys, at Richmond. That was a tough game yesterday. So
yeah, well, no, we didn't really think that. We misthought that. They were picked 10th in the A10. So that was they dominate. I'm concerned about our defense. For a defensive-minded coach, our through 2 games, our defense looks like trash.
But I wanted to mention that was a tough one. Those 2 games it's like 34-33 with the women's game at halftime, and then the third quarter just fell all to pieces. And then I was listening to the game, flipping back and forth between fifth quarter and the basketball game, and I was like, man, come on. But
Hey,
anyway, go ahead.
but there's some context that needs to be added to that basketball deal.
Okay.
Defense, yeah, Kyle. Defense does not look great. But Trevi LeBeau has yet to play 1 minute, and Jay Shane Woodard only played 1 minute against Richmond, which is really concerning to me because he went out in the first game against Georgia Southern. He only played 19 minutes, and then he went out with some type of leg injury, came back, rode the bike a while, then came in, played 1 minute, scored a basket, and never came back in. So those 2 are 2 of our 3 best defenders with Jordan Riley, and especially against 3-point shooting with Jay Shane and LeBeau's length. I mean, I'm not worried yet because when we get those 2 back, I feel like the defense is going to be much, much, much better.
Hey, JR, who's the all-time leader in three-point percentage?
That would be Patty Darcy.
The Australian assassin?
That's him. He's 1 for 1, 1,000%.
We get these names up here. I mean, Patty and then Panda on the football team.
Yeah. The old
I
name.
love it.
No doubt. By the way, in normal football, did you see where I know Stevie probably did?
Normal.
Yeah.
Football.
That's
not what Kyle called it, Dave.
It's not what anybody called it.
Regular football. My bad. My regular football.
No, it's gay NFL.
Yeah, but my team 6 straight losses. So, but Paul Tagliabue passed away.
You do, and you'll clean it up.
Yeah. Anyway, so we lost.
Yeah, Tagliabue was a good commissioner. I mean,
I like him a lot.
Taking the reins over from the legendary Pete Rozelle. You know, he did a good job. I like him a lot better than Goodell. So.
Yeah, and Lenny Wilkins, I saw he passed away. Former.
88 years old.
Yeah. So
wow, former Hawks coach, right?
Hawks, Seattle Supersonics,
and Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers had some great teams with him.
Yeah,
they just ran into Michael Jordan.
Exactly, Stevie. Exactly. He had like really good regular season, and then you have, of course, Jordan. So that's enough said. But sad to lose 2 legends like that in the world of sports. So, do you guys have anything before we go? I'm looking forward to Wednesday night, obviously, with our preview of the Memphis game. Get your tickets, by the way, ECUPirates.com. And I hope that they have the $12 tickets again. But let's get as many people in Rowdy. Let's make it that nickname, Matt, Rowdy Dowdy, doesn't apply to us right now. So let's get our nickname back.
I hope so, Dave. I really do. Because we can do better. And I know we have the fan base. We just have to keep people in the stadium.
Maybe we can get Matt to do the purple and gold chant, and maybe you can get them fired up, Matt.
I'll do it.
Dave,
I'll be
you
happy
never
to.
said what they wanted to change the purple gold chant to. You never actually
Oh my
said
God.
that.
Yes,
It was heave ho.
Steve Ho.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is amazing. That's, oh my God. Yeah. I was just talking about
Who
that.
wanted to do that? A fan?
One of our
Somebody
callers,
called.
yeah.
It's somebody that called in.
Heave.
Oh.
Ho.
I thought it was.
Heave.
Are we going to do the OP?
Ho.
Are we going to do OPP too? That's what it sounded like. Hey ho.
Oh, yeah. Heave. Ho. That's friggin' horrible.
The difference is,
You know what? I do wish when we did the hoist the colors, yo-ho all together, hoist the colors high. I wish everybody would sing along with that. That would be so cool. But instead, we just sit there with our hands in our pockets. Hey, listen to the music. But when we hoist the colors high, I wish everybody would sing along with that. But oh well.
all right.
Apparently, nobody else does.
No, I do. I know what you're
I'd like to hear just you sing it, Kyle.
Yeah.
I'll do it. You want me to do it now? I'll do it now.
Go for it. Yeah.
Go for it, Kyle.
Yo ho, all together, hoist the colors high. Heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die.
Oh my God. You
I
say
wish I had. I
Wow.
wish I had video of this right now because my dog was laying here at.
I was just going to
on my
say,
couch.
Stevie, I had to mute the mic because my coonhound is like howling.
My
right
dog
now.
would just
That
pop,
was
pop
my
her head up, look
stylized
back at-
rendition. That was my stylized rendition right there.
And guys, you
My
didn't have
my
to
ears
pay
are
for
bleeding.
that. You didn't have to pay for that either, guys. So
did Carmelo wake up?
Next, I'll
did,
do
yeah,
my
he
bluegrass
did.
version.
no.
No, please, no. Matt will definitely not come on Saturday. We want our friend Matt and Stevie. I wish, man, like crazy. I've got tickets for you anytime you want. I hate that you have to. I know you have to work for a living, but I hate that you can't be there with us on Saturday.
My bluegrass
Oh
version.
my
Stevie, I fully
gosh.
expect you to make the trip from Lasker.
What
I mean,
time does the game start anyway?
Rolling down
4 o'clock.
south to the lands of the pine, Matt's heading his way to North Carolina.
Stevie,
4
let's make
o'clock
it happen,
kickoff.
Stevie.
4 o'clock kickoff, Stevie.
Or
See, I doubt it, but we'll see.
we
Let
got
me tell you
tickets.
something. Let me tell you something, Stevie. Let me tell you something right now.
Let me tell you something, Kyle
Let me
Baba.
tell you something, Stevie. Let me tell you something, Stevie.
Let me
As
tell
many
you
times
something,
as
Kyle
I've
Baba.
invited your ass to a
I've been
game,
riding that
if
lightning
you
bolt.
come to the game now just because Matt's coming, I'm going to say you're gay for Matt. That's what I'm telling everyone.
Oh God.
Wow.
Oh boy.
I'm telling everyone.
Yeah, that kind of killed the momentum.
I got Matt's in training. I got Matt in training for the alumni game next year. They're gonna have because he's gonna eat like a crap thunder.
He's gonna hoist the colors.
If I can make it 10 plays without blowing out my ACL, I'll be happy.
All right, and Johnny, you'll keep stats, right, JR?
What's that, Dave?
You'll keep stats for the alumni game?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt.
Right. That sounds good to me. All right, again, we are losing listeners, so that lets me know that it's time to get out of
Time
here.
to go.
Yeah. Love you guys very much. We'll see you Wednesday for our Pirate preview at 8 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about how we're going to beat Memphis as lightning starts right near my house. So we'll get out here. Thank you guys so much. I had fun, and it's great when you're winning. Pirates, again, get that big victory, 48-22 over Charlotte, as the thunderstorms are rolling in.
Loud thunder, heavy rain.
Yeah, we'll blame it on the rain.
Thunder rolls and the lightning strikes.
That's right, the thunder rolls.
The love grows cold on a sleepless night. Okay.
All right, the karaoke objective. We'll end it right now. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you on Wednesday night at 8:30. As always, go Pirates.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.